Hi, everybody. It is 9:25, and guess what? If you were here at 9 and wondering where I was actually here, just nobody could see me. So I'm checking Periscope. I've got something messed up with my program that's sending things out. Let me check on Twitter. So I thought it was just not going to Twitter, and it was going to Facebook. So I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll just send it to Facebook. And then, not going to Twitter, and it didn't was going happen. To Facebook, so I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll just send it to Facebook. All right. So let me quickly, because we are working on Twitter now. So hopefully we're also working on Facebook. Oh, awesome. Okay, go live. We're live now. All right, so we are live on both places, Periscope and Facebook. So remember this book I told you about the other day? I hope I screw this up. I'm so good at this book. I'm so good at thinking, oh, I screwed it up. So I'm going to do that whole live over again that I did at 9 a.m. Because it was really good. Like, I had some really cool stuff to say. At least in my mind, I did. So can you see all this cool stuff behind me? I got toys. You want to see my toys? I got new ones. They're awesome. It's a green screen so that in the future, like maybe tomorrow, depends on if I get time to set it up and everything, you won't have to see all this stuff. Like we can do book reviews and I can have the book on the screen instead of trying to hold it up and get it to work on the camera because clearly I can't figure that out. But yeah, it's so cool. Look, I've got like tripods. It's going to be a big, huge screen, big green screen behind me. And it's on tripods. And I even have like a light set that like, these little professional photography thingies that go in front of your face and like reflect the light back and everything. So you'll be able to see me. Won't that be nice? I try really hard to get the light going, but I've got, an overhead and that's about it. And the windows. So, and it's been really rainy in Maine, so the light coming through the windows has not been that great. But where was I? Oh yeah, distractions. Distractions, like all this cool stuff. I'm going to get that out of the window so that I don't even see it because, man, that's a huge distraction for me. All right, so the topic today is, are your big ideas moving you forward or holding you back? And I'm trying in my head to recreate exactly what I said a half an hour ago, and I probably won't. But if I pause and stumble, that's why, because I'm trying to recreate it in my brain. So if you've ever read a book called The War of Art, not The Art of War, but The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, it's all about resistance, and it's all about that part of your brain that holds you back from going to your next level. So most of the people listening to me are entrepreneurs, they're speakers, experts, coaches, people who have a mission, they have an audience that they want to talk to, and they want to get their message out into the world. And there's a lot of different messages. Sometimes that message is, I've got a product and service that can help you, come and buy it. Sometimes that message is, I want to talk to your audience, hire me to speak. Sometimes that message is, hey, we've got this great nonprofit and you don't have to support it with money, but just spread our message. Like, we want to change the world. We want to, improve the climate, or we want to help babies survive, troubled childhoods, or I don't know, whatever it is. This is me off the cuff. So whatever your message is as you're trying to get out there, you've got this part of your brain in the back that's like, no, don't go to the next level. Stay right here. You're safe right here. You have got food, you've got shelter, you've got clothing. You're good. Like, you don't need anything else. We're surviving. We're awesome. Stay there. Now, the rest of your brain, all the rest of this stuff, wants to grow and expand and reach the next level and make more money and travel and do all these really cool things. Whatever your dream is, buy a bigger house, have a family, meet your, your future spouse, whatever it is, you've got this part of you, it's your spirit and the rest of your brain, it all wants to expand and get better and bigger and reach more people. But then there's this little really strong part back here that's going, no, stay right here. We're good. Don't go. Don't screw it up. If you try to do that thing and you mess it up, Who are you to think you can go there? If you mess it up, we're screwed. We're going to die, right? And of course you're not going to die. You're not going to... But it's resistance, and it's a part of us. It's a part of us that keeps us from dying, literally. Like, it doesn't understand. That little part of your brain does not understand that if you fail to reach the next level, or if whatever thing you're trying to do, if you don't get there, you're not going to die. You're going to still have food, clothing, shelter. Thank goodness we live in a we're blessed. We are truly blessed. And we have safety nets in place, and we have support structures, and there's all kinds of ways we're not going to die, right? But doesn't stop that little part of your brain from whispering things to you like, you can't really do that. What are you thinking? Maybe you scale it back a bit. Who do you think you are? You can't write a book. You've been trying for 10 years and you still haven't written it yet. So, what makes you think you can do it now? All those little nagging thoughts in your head, okay, are trying to keep you down. They're trying to keep you stuck. Now, you probably already know that. That's nothing new, and I just want you to realize and be aware of those thoughts in your head and realize that they're not the truth. They're just that part of your brain. I think it's called the limbic system. I'm tired of saying that part of your brain, so I think it's called the limbic system, but I can't remember, so whatever. That little part of your brain. So here's the thing. There's two kinds of people. And there's people who are as far as motivations go, there's people who are motivated by not running away, but escaping problems and things that they don't want to deal with. Okay. So like getting out of debt, running away from your bills, having the freedom to travel, like getting away from a bad situation and making your situation better. That's motivating for a lot of people, which is why you see a lot of fear-based marketing. When you see commercials on TV or ads on Facebook or whatever, and it's like fear-based, it's because people are afraid and they want to get away from that. And so they'll buy whatever the thing is that people are selling. Now, entrepreneurs, which is most of you that are listening to this, you're expert speakers, coaches, authors, you have businesses. You guys, most of us are wired, and that's just how I'm wired, to be motivated by moving forward, right? We are motivated by getting to the next level, growing, expanding, writing another book, expanding my audience, whatever it is. We're motivated by freedom and excitement and travel and more money and things like that move us forward. And we want to do those things. And so when you see people marketing to entrepreneurs, it's all about, why don't you want to do your work from your laptop while you're sitting on the beach drinking, Mai Tais or whatever. That's something that's a dream that's sold because they know that people in the entrepreneurial space want those things. They want the freedom to travel. Why do you think that digital nomads, like the people who travel around with just a backpack and their laptop, that is a very appealing lifestyle to a lot of people. So there's people who move away from problems and there's people who move towards possibilities. Okay. I figured out that, and this is just an epiphany that's happened in the last couple of weeks. When I was younger in my career and I was, I had 3 little babies at home and I was a stay-at-home mom and I was just writing to pay the bills. I just wanted to make $100 a week. That's all I wanted. And to me, that seemed like a big goal. And I was like, God, can I please just make $100 because that would pay for the diapers and it would pay for, getting Katie new shoes or whatever it was. So that at that point in my life, I was still sort of in an away mindset. I was trying to get away from the fact that Katie had no shoes, or I was trying to or that she was just learning to walk. She had shoes, but I've been blessed my whole life. I'm so fortunate and grateful for that. But I was still early. It was early in my career and I was just trying to figure things out and I was trying to get away. It's like, how can I pay for these diapers? How can I pay for gas in my car so that I can, go to the grocery store, whatever, all those kinds of things that motivated me. And so that at that point in time, my brain would tell me things like, who are you to write? Like, you're not going to make any money writing. Writers don't make any money. What are you, crazy? Like, why are you trying to get into a national magazine? Don't you think you should just stay put and keep doing these little local newspaper articles? And when I say little, like I was writing reviews of the school board meetings. I was like, It was a little paper. There were maybe 1,000 people in this town. So, that was what my brain would tell me. And I figured out a couple of years ago, maybe almost like 5 years ago, that's what my brain was doing. It was trying to hold me back. That was that little part saying, no, don't go any farther. You don't want to grow. You don't want to expand because you're safe right here. So that was what worked, was those thoughts. Who are you to write a book? What do you think you're doing? You're not good enough to do that. Or I don't know if I'm good enough. Like all those thoughts that come into you when you're writing a book happens to everyone. You are not alone. If you thought you were alone and you got those thoughts, like you're not. So just don't worry about it. That's this part of your brain trying to keep you safe. So I figured that out, and I figured out that it always happened when I was tired. It happened after 6 p.m., which is when I'm done for the day. I'm done with the kids. I'm done with their work. I'm tired. That's when those thoughts would come up. And when I figured that out, because I timed it, I was like, when are these thoughts, when are they coming? I tracked when they happened. So then I made a rule. And I said, after 6 p.m., I'm not allowed to listen to anything in my head. Whether it's good or bad, I am not allowed to listen because it's not true, whatever it is. And in the morning, I always felt better. And I was like, whatever. What was I thinking last night, right? Of course I can do this. So I just made a rule. And what happened was that stuff no longer worked on me. It didn't work for resistance. It didn't work to hold me back because now I'm good at, I recognize those voices and I'm like, no, I'm not even listening to you. I don't have time to listen to you. So my brain is really smart and yours is too. And once you figure out a way around, or you figure out that one tactic that it has is just bullshit, like it's not true, and you can get around it really quickly, it's going to come up with another way to distract you and to keep you safe, keep you at that level. It's going to come up with the way that will work the best. And what I figured out in the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, is that my brain has switched from an away motivation to a towards motivation. So I'm always looking to go and make more money and reach more people and write more books and all those things. I'm trying to get more. I'm trying to go towards things. I'm trying to have new opportunities and new exciting projects. I love new projects. A really hard time saying no to people. And my brain knows that. And so this little part back here goes, oh, you're working on this book and this is so exciting. But what about this idea? Wow, that's a really good idea. Like you could do so much with that, right? You could write a book. You could reach so many more people. And oh my God, you could make so much more money because you could do this product and you could speak on these stages and you could do all these things. Come over here and look at this big idea. Look at this big idea. That's what my brain is telling me. And I just figured out that all that big ideas that come to me all the time, I never run out of ideas. They are constantly bombarding me with new ideas. I will never run out. If I ever find myself in a van down by the river, I will be able to figure out a business that will work. The problem is I'm not in a van down by the river. I'm at a great place. I'm happy where I am, but I want to grow. I want to get bigger. I want to help more people write books. I want to, help people get their messages out into the world. And to do that, I need to focus. I need to focus on what I'm doing. And my brain knows that, and it doesn't want me to go there. So it gives me all these ideas. And I'm like, crap. It's just another tactic that my brain, this little part right back here, is using to keep me where I am. All the big ideas. Okay, I won't say all the big ideas. Most of the big ideas are distractions. So how do you tell the difference whether your big ideas, because I know you all have them. I know you do. You get, you're almost finished with your book and you get an idea for a novel. And you're like, oh, I want to work. This is such a great idea. And then you go and you start writing on your novel. And you have 15 different books going on at the same time and they never finish. They never get finished. I used to do that with websites. I would have all these websites and I would work on them. And then I go to another one and then I go to another one. And I know people do that with books, especially, fiction authors do it, nonfiction authors do it. So it's it's a distraction tactic. It's resistance. It's my brain keeping me from moving forward on anything. Nothing gets done when I pay attention to that stuff. So what do? If you have this problem and you're never running out of ideas, what do? The standard advice is, just write it down and then, put it away and go back to work. Well, that doesn't work for those of us who are driven to get to that next level. And there's so many, and I know that you're driven. You've got a message. If you're writing a book, you're driven. And it just doesn't work. Like, just writing down the idea that I have does not work, because I know that I don't want to miss out on a better opportunity. So whatever I'm doing right now is great, but this one might be better, and I need to explore this. And so we go over here and we explore this idea that we have. So what I've started doing, and it seems to be working really well. First of all, be aware that big idea that just came into your head could be a distraction. It could be a technique that your brain is using to, people are, hi, friendly guy. It could be a distraction technique to keep you from getting to that next level. Once you're aware of it, it's so much easier to deal with. So what I've started doing to deal with it is I have just allowed myself, first of all, I'll try to dismiss it and go, no, I don't want to do that. But if it keeps coming back, which it does, I will say, okay, I've got 5 minutes right now. Maybe it's before I pick up my son. Maybe it's, I'm hanging out at the grocery store. Well, sometimes I do that. I'll park and then I check my phone, which is stupid, but we do it, right? So I let myself explore the idea. And I usually it's a book, and I'm like, okay, so here's the book idea. Here's some of the things that could go into it. Here's the target audience and who I would want to be helping, because all of my books are, if they don't help people move themselves to the next level, then I don't want to write it. And then what are the businesses, because that's immediately where my brain goes. What are the businesses that can be created to support the book and to help people have more success? So I'll just write it all out. Sometimes I write it with a pen on a piece of paper, and I just create a business plan. I'm literally creating a business plan in 5 minutes. That's how often it happens, is that I can do it in 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And then I look at it and I ask myself this question, the one that is on your screen right now. Is this big idea? Because it's a big idea and it's a great one and it could be amazing. Is it moving me forward towards the goal I'm working on right now? Or is it holding me back? Is it a distraction? Most of the time it's a distraction. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, that could really help me move towards my goal. So for example, my goal right now, I'm creating Nonfiction Book Academy. I'm building up master classes, which we're going to be able to open for registration really soon. We are doing all of these things to help entrepreneurs, experts, authors, coaches, speakers, all these people who want to write books and get their messages out there and build businesses around them. We're building a place where you can come to learn how to do that. And that is my focus. And I have dedicated the next year to that focus, and I cannot be distracted from it. So if the idea that comes into my head is about a new business, something that has nothing to do with this, then I write it down, I do my business plan, and I put it in a file on my computer. And I know it'll always be there. If I ever need a business idea, I've got 50 folders. I'll never run out of business ideas. But if it is something like maybe doing lives or buying a green screen, that I know is going to actually help me reach more people who need this information, then I'm like, okay, now I need to write it down real quick, write it down to review it when I have time, which is usually in the evenings because I'm tired from writing. And I just look at it later, or maybe it's something I need to learn or a piece of software I need to get or something, but I do it later. I have a feeling that my brain back here is going to figure out another tactic, because this one's not going to work anymore. Now that I've got it and I know that this is a delay tactic, it's a resistance, it's just procrastination. It's going to stop working eventually. I mean, it'll still try, and then it'll come up with something else. And I don't know what that something else is going to be, but now that I know this is happening, it's so much easier to diffuse it. So if you get ideas all the time, especially in the middle of a book, take some time to explore it, write out your thoughts about it, and then put it away. Ask yourself the question, is this idea going to help me with what I'm focused on right now, or is it going to hold me back? Is it just my brain trying to keep me at the same level? That, if you just do that, you are going to find so much more time. And you're going to move to that next level so much faster because you're not going to be distracted. And I mean, there's all kinds of distractions. There's Facebook, there's your cell phone, there's, instant messenger and live videos coming up, every morning at 9 a.m., except today, which is 9:30. There's all kinds of distractions. I'm not saying you're not going to have distractions, but I'm saying that your brain has very specific techniques that it uses because it knows it works, right? If you're an away kind of person, it's going to put those thoughts in your heads. Who are you to write a book? Who are you to think you can do that? You can't do that. You're not good enough. Your father was right. You're good for nothing. Whatever it is, but you know what those thoughts are because you have them all the time. Everybody does. If that stops working, then it's going to go to the towards ones, and it's going to just say, oh, what about this idea? What about this idea? You could write a novel. I swear to God. Okay. So I was at Guardians of the Galaxy, the new one that just came out, number 2, if you're watching this years later, because these videos are going to be so amazing years later. I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I love this movie. I love these characters. I want to write this stuff. I should write screenplays. What? I've never even read a screenplay, let alone thought about writing them. And so this thought in my head is like, you should write screenplays, which is ridiculous. That's not what I do. And it's totally not going to move me forward in helping entrepreneurs write their books. And at this point I'm just laughing because I'm like, brain, really screenplays? I've never in my life wanted to write a screenplay. And so, I'm starting to just laugh every time that these big ideas come up that are just so out there and ludicrous. A year ago, 2 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to go buy a screenplay book and figure out how to do this. And I bet there's YouTube videos and there's courses. I know there's courses on how to write screenplays, and they're done by really, really great people. And I could do this. I'm really good at writing dialogue. I love writing dialogue. And I would be off to the races on this screenplay kick, completely distracted from my mission. So just pay attention in your life and see if this is happening to you. And if it is, now you know. You can say, thank you, Julie. Now you know that it's happening and that it's just a trick. It's just a tactic that your brain is using. So the book that I mentioned earlier that you may want to check out if you haven't checked it out is called The War of Art, not The Art of War. That's, thousands of years old or something. It's The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. It is totally relevant to entrepreneurs. It's all about resistance and how your brain is very tricky, like what I just talked about today. All right, I've been going on really long here. I think I remembered to say everything I wanted to say when I did this video the first time at 9, when it didn't go live to anybody because I messed up the settings somehow. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I will see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. I may have a big announcement then, I hope. We'll see. We're getting these masterclasses ready to go. They're going to be completely free. I just want to help you guys learn how to write books that inspire, educate, and sell. Even if you're in the middle of your book, I really want to help you be able to incorporate the things you need to make sure that people take action on your book and on your mission. All right. I'm out of here because right now just talking to you is distracting me from getting my work done. So love you all. Follow me if you want to. Twitter, it's BizBookWriter. And on Facebook, it's just Julianne Eason. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow at 9. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye-bye.